As a brain doctor with over 30 years of experience, I've seen a lot, but this one shocked even me. It turns out that one of the most beloved comfort foods in the world, cheese, can be a double-edged sword for your brain. Yes, cheese. The same food that's on your sandwiches, melted into casseroles, or served on a charming little platter at every holiday party. Seniors, I am talking to you directly today. Some cheeses may be silently increasing your risk of stroke and memory decline, while others may actually protect your brain and keep your mind sharp. The difference is so subtle, yet so powerful. You'd never guess which cheeses are harming your brain cells and which are giving them a boost. And I'm not basing this on rumors or diet fads. Is science, hard data, clinical observations. Today, we'll walk through the 4 cheeses that raise your stroke risk. And for brain protective cheeses, you should start eating instead. And don't worry, I'll explain the why behind every bite, so you can make smarter, safer choices. Especially if you're over 60, because your brain health is far too precious to risk on a cheese plate. Now, let me ask you something personal. Have you or someone you love ever experienced a mini stroke, memory fog, or even confusion that came out of nowhere? You might have blamed stress or aging, but what if the culprit was quietly sitting in your fridge? Studies show that dietary choices influence brain health more than we ever imagined. And certain types of saturated fats, hidden sodium, and even microbial compounds in some cheeses can wreak havoc on your vascular system. That means poor blood flow to the brain, and we all know what that leads to: stroke, dementia, and cognitive decline. Let's start with the bad news first, the 4 cheeses that silently raise your stroke risk. Please don't panic if one of your favorites is on this list. This isn't about guilt or shamettes, about knowledge. Because when you know better, you eat better. And when you eat better, your brain thanks you for it literally. 1. Processed American cheese. This is the king of convenience and the enemy of healthy arteries. Those individually wrapped slices might melt beautifully on a burger, but inside your body, they're a recipe for inflammation. Why? American cheese is heavily processed and packed with sodium phosphate, hydrogenated oils, and chemical emulsifiers that have been linked to increased arterial stiffness and high blood pressure, 2 of the leading causes of stroke. One slice can contain over 400 milligrams of sodium, and seniors are especially vulnerable to sodium sensitivity. Over time, that leads to narrower blood vessels, which means less oxygen-rich blood gets to your brain. Think of it like this: the more processed the cheese, the more clogged the highway that delivers nutrients to your brain. And that's a risk not worth taking. 2. Parmesan. Now this one may surprise you. Parmesan is often praised for being low in moisture and high in flavor. But here's the catch: it's also incredibly high in sodium. And because it's often added as a topping on pasta, soup, salad, people tend to forget how much they're consuming. Just 1 tablespoon of grated Parmesan can have over 200 milligrams of sodium. Add a few spoonfuls here and there, and you've unknowingly consumed nearly half your daily sodium limit. High sodium levels lead to vascular inflammation, and over time, that increases your risk of stroke. Moderation is key. A little Parmesan, fine, but overdoing it, especially daily. Dangerous. 3. Blue cheese. It's rich, pungent, and deeply flavorful. But blue cheese is also rich in saturated fats and mold cultures that produce substances called biogenic amines, including tyramine. For some people, especially seniors with sensitive blood vessels, tyramine can trigger vasoconstriction, which reduces blood flow to the brain. That's not just uncomfortable, to be dangerous. Headaches, high blood pressure spikes, and even stroke episodes have been reported in sensitive individuals after eating high tyramine foods like blue cheese. If you already suffer from migraines or have a history of hypertension, this cheese may be doing you more harm than good. 4. Cheddar. Yes, I know cheddar is practically America's favorite cheese. But here's the truth: not all cheddar is created equal. Highly aged, highly processed cheddar from mass market producers often contains hidden nitrates, artificial colorings like annatto, and high levels of saturated fat. It's not just about calories, it's about how these ingredients affect the lining of your arteries and your brain's ability to regulate blood flow. Several studies have linked excess saturated fat from full-fat cheddar with reduced cognitive flexibility and higher stroke risk, especially in seniors. It's not that cheddar must be avoided completely, but if you're eating the cheap, plastic-wrapped kind daily, your brain is paying a steep price. Now, don't worry. Won't leave you cheeseless and sad. Because here's the beautiful news. There are 4 cheeses that actually support brain health, improve memory, and reduce your stroke risk. These cheeses are rich in nutrients like omega-3 south, vitamin K2, probiotics, and healthy fats that nourish the brain and protect your blood vessels. Let's dive into the good stuff. 1. Goat cheese. Creamy, tangy, and gentle on the gut. Goat cheese is a powerhouse for brain health. Why? First, it's naturally lower in sodium and saturated fat compared to cow's milk cheese. Second, goat cheese contains medium-chain fatty acids, which your brain uses for clean energy. It's also rich in vitamin B2 and calcium, supporting nerve function and blood vessel integrity. Plus, it's easier to digest for many seniors, which means less inflammation throughout the body. Try spreading it on a slice of whole grain toast or crumbling it onto a salad. It's delicious and nourishing. 2. Feta. Authentic feta, not the overly salty supermarket kind, is one of the best cheeses for vascular and brain health. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, and probiotics, feta helps maintain strong blood vessels and supports gut-brain communication. Remember, your gut health directly affects your mental clarity and mood. Fermented cheeses like feta introduce beneficial bacteria that reduce systemic inflammation and may help ward off neurodegenerative diseases. Look for low-sodium versions of feta made from sheep's milk for maximum benefit. 3. Mozzarella. Here's a mild, creamy cheese that's as brain-friendly as it is delicious. Fresh mozzarella, especially buffalo mozzarella's low in sodium and saturated fat. And it contains conjugated linoleic acid, a healthy fat that supports brain cell membranes. Mozzarella is also high in vitamin B12, which is essential for cognitive sharpness, especially as we age. Many seniors unknowingly develop B12 deficiencies, which can mimic signs of dementia. A few slices of fresh mozzarella with tomatoes and basil. That's more than a snack, hits brain fuel. 4. Swiss cheese. Yes, those holes are a good thing. Swiss cheese is naturally low in sodium, high in vitamin K2, and contains a unique fermentation process that produces probiotic compounds. Vitamin K2 plays a crucial role in preventing arterial calcification, which keeps blood flowing smoothly to your brain. Studies suggest that people who consume higher amounts of K2 have lower rates of stroke and Alzheimer's disease. Swiss cheese also contains tyrosine, an amino acid that helps produce dopamine, a key neurotransmitter that boosts mood, focus, and memory. Now, here's something even more important than which cheese you choose. How much and how often? Moderation is the key. Even a brain-boosting cheese becomes harmful when overdone. Stick to 1 to 2 ounces per day, preferably during meals rich in fiber to balance out the fats. And always read the label. Many cheese products aren't even real cheese and contain artificial additives that your brain doesn't recognize or appreciate. I've seen patients improve their blood pressure, memory, and even balance just by tweaking their cheese choices. One patient, a retired teacher named Helen, came in with high blood pressure and foggy memory. Her diet, full of cheddar and American cheese. We switched her to goat cheese and mozzarella, cut her sodium intake by 1,000 milligrams daily, and within 3 months, her blood pressure stabilized. Her brain MRI showed improved blood flow, and she reported feeling sharper, calmer, and more energetic. Another gentleman, Bob, 68, had a minor stroke that scared him into rethinking his diet. We removed blue cheese and processed slices, replaced them with Swiss and low-sodium feta. His follow-up scans showed clearer arteries, and he hasn't had another episode since. These aren't miracles. These are the results of science, care, and small, consistent changes. Eh? And if they worked for Helen and Bob, they can work for you, too. So seniors, take this seriously. Not all cheese is created equal. Choose the ones that nourish your brain, not poison it. Remember the bad for American, Parmesan, blue cheese, and heavily processed cheddar. Swap them with goat cheese, feta, fresh mozzarella, and Swiss. And don't forget your brain deserves your attention. It's the seat of your memories, your personality, your ability to love, laugh, and connect. Don't let a cheese habit rob you of that. If this video opened your eyes, share it with a loved one. Someone you care about might still be reaching for the wrong cheese, without knowing what it is doing to their brain. Drop a comment below if you want a full grocery list of senior-safe cheeses and meal ideas. We've got plenty to share. Until next time, this is Edgar from Health Hackers. Stay sharp, stay safe, and stay smiling.